All right. I have I glued the mound or the onto the base with the cross. I painted it, and if I have to paint it again a little bit, I can. And I took my piece. Now, what you want to do is position your little guy figure on the base, and then take a pen and draw around his area where he's going to be sitting, standing. And then take it off, and it's just, you can see right here. So you don't want to put any grass in that area, so that you can make sure that he comes back and glues right there. So this little area that you drew in here, just drew around, you want to save that to not put any, so that your figure can come and glue back onto it like that. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our super glue. We have two forms of super glue. We have the Gorilla brush nozzle super glue, and then we have this right here. It doesn't matter what you use. My brother bought this. It's I don't usually use but what we can do, we can take this super glue, and you can just that's best. I'm going to go ahead and put a mask on, because it's best. This stuff is strong. Whew. Very, very strong. I don't like smelling it with my TB. So we're going to brush that super glue on here. Or you can put a liquid on there, it doesn't matter, you can brush it, or this is sort of a paste here. And we're gonna do a little here. Now this process, I'm gonna get you started on, but this process is a gradual process. It's not something that just happens, overnight. You have to gradually do this. It doesn't, not everything. Now they have different types of glues that you can use. Some people have a spray glue that you can use. Some people this, but... Alright, and then you take your gravel. And I usually like to cut a little bit off the end of it. Well, where is my knife? Just a second. Thought my knife was in my pocket, but let me see. I must have set it down for some reason, but that's okay. Let me see. Oh, brother. I don't know. I must have set my knife down. But I'll use a pair of scissors and do the same thing. So while it is still wet, I'm going to cut the side here so that we can just sprinkle it on there. And you gradually sprinkle a little of this stuff on there. Now, as I said, now what you want to do is you let that dry for a little while, okay? And then you take it and you turn it over, and the excess, you let the excess gravel fall off into the bowl and keep it there, okay? And then you hit it again. And you gradually do that each time to get the, till you get it covered, until you get it the way you want it, and everything like that, in other words. But you let it dry before you sprinkle it off of there. So, here, let me take this off. That is how you achieve it, is what I do. This is a process. This is not something that just all of a sudden you do and one time and then it works. You have to pour it into, into the bowl, and then you gradually begin to use it again. Put you some more super glue, put you some more glue, and then you do it. You gradually build that up in the way that you want it. And then the same thing about the grass around there. The same thing. You put your glue around here, and you put your grass on there. You dump it when it dries. You dump it into the bowl, or and you gradually build the grass around the mound and everything like that. And then when I'm through, I'll repaint just a little bit on the in case I get anything on the cross. But that's how this is done. You just gradually work this, and then once you get the grass to where you want it, then you put your figure on there, and then you put a little bit of glue around there. That's why I like the liquid glue rather than the brush on. But it's okay. The brush on's okay. But I just prefer the liquid. It's much easier to me. But I'll let that dry now for, I'm sure it probably takes, I usually let it about 5 minutes. Then I'll take it, sprinkle it in there, and use that excess to go over it again. And you keep going over it until you get the desired effect that you want for the mound, in other words. And then once that's done, then I'll do the same thing with the grass around the base of this. Okay? Try not to get any of your glue down here, because you don't really want your base to, your grass to have grass around this area and all that other stuff. You can also use that painter's tape around there if you want to work with it and everything like that. But that is how you achieve this as you go along. So I'll come back. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to show you how it's done. I can't show you everything as I go, but I'm just saying, work it like that. When you get the desired effect, then you start on the grass area and all that. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, because this is a grave, okay? And it doesn't have to be just perfect about everything. It's just, it's a grave with grass around it, and it's got gravel, kind of sand, gravel on the grave. So you let that stick, leave it for about 5 minutes, and then you put it, or turn it over, and let the excess fall into the bowl. And then you reuse that. So, that's what I'm trying to show you right now. And we'll let that dry. And then I will continue with it later. In fact, when I get through with that, I'll show it to you. And then we'll start on the grass as well. So, all right. Okay. God bless now.